Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Colorado Rockies rebuild franchise here on MLB The Show 24. Today we're going to go into a player lock game with Dustin May as he's 6-2, a 3.55 ERA, going to go against Shohei Ohtani, his former club, of course, as we signed Dustin May to a 4-year contract this past offseason. The Dodgers actually stole away Pete Alonso, TJ Antone, and Scott Barlow from us, as we also added former Dodgers Gavin Lux and Brusdar Graterol. So a little rivalry brewing here between division opponents, as the Dodgers, of course, big brother right now in the NL West, but our Rockies not too far behind, entering this matchup at 2.5 games back. Ohtani on the bump, a 5 ERA even, with a strikeout to walk rate of basically 2-1, so not the best start for him on the mound this season, but at the plate he has been pretty good, as you would expect. But you know, with all these big contracts in LA, as Mookie Betts to lead it off now as we jump to the bottom of the first here in this Dustin May Player Lock game. Of course, all these big contracts now for the Dodgers, they have to kind of compromise other spots. You know, the first pitch from Dustin May does bounce there in the dirt, as we're now underway here from LA. Now on 1-0 here against Mookie Betts, and that one again in the dirt. So Dustin May has struggled with command at times this year, up and down, but has been a little bit better as of late, as a ground ball there to third. McMahon over to Mountcastle at first, and that's going to be 1 up, 1 down to start the day. Now that brings on Riley Green, who the Dodgers traded for back in year 1 of this franchise. So many trades in MLB The Show, as that sinker does clip that inside corner. That inside part of the plate. And now here on 0-1, just fastball right down the pipe at 100 miles per hour. Swung on and missed there by Riley Green. And now go 0-2, changeup down and away. As that swung on and missed, Riley Green going for that 100 mile per hour heat, but we pulled a string, and Dustin May, his first strikeout now, pitching in his former ballpark. Now here's Shohei Ohtani batting .264 on the year, as that sinker just down and away. 19 home runs, 44 RBIs, OPS at .967. So very good production at the plate. Fastball right down the middle, swung on and missed there by Ohtani. Now we'll go fastball again, try and raise it a little bit. Fouled off, and now a 1-2 here. Dustin May in the driver's seat. Go to the slurve, as that one does miss. Now 2-2. We'll go back to the changeup. Strikeout pitch in that prior at bat, as again Dustin May just dropping it a little too low. And now the payoff pitch, just go back to the heat, as that is fouled off again by Ohtani, staying alive. And now we'll go back to the changeup, as that's looked at for strike 3. Dustin May back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning, as they were through 1 now in LA. No score so far. Now to start the bottom of the second, Pete Alonso up, the former Colorado Rocky, a big free agent signing back in year 1 of this franchise, but elected to sign a 5-year contract, I believe it was, with the Dodgers, as he joins the dark side, pulls a Kevin Durant. And now it's the bottom of the second. First pitch there to Alonso inside, as we have the Dustin May versus Pete Alonso matchup. May was our prize free agent signing to strengthen our rotation. Pete Alonso, the prize free agent signing there for the Dodgers. Now batting in the cleanup spot. Freddie Freeman still on this team. I believe he in the last year of a contract. And it's Pete Alonso there swinging a miss. Now a 1-2 count. Try the slurve, and that swung on in the dirt for strike 3. So make it 3 straight strikeouts for May, as Jansen throws to first. And now 1 away here in the second. And now James Outman up to bat. Killed us in the playoffs last year, as a hard ground ball there to third, collected by McMahon. And we just get the out there. So 2 up, 2 down now to start the second. As that brings up Will Smith, still one of the best catchers in the game. Another one of these big contracts the Dodgers have, as the sinker there inside. Now on 1-0, we'll go fastball here, as that's looked at for strike 1. I don't know if it was his last start or the start prior, but Dustin May did have a complete game shutout recently, as he is starting to find his form after a rocky start with the Rockies. And now 1-2, let's go with another slurve here. As that swung on and missed, you could tell that one was going to be nice, as Dustin May now already 5 strikeouts, is it 4 strikeouts in this game, as he's rolling early. And we do get a Tovar RBI double, so the Rockies ahead now, as we enter this matchup against the Dodgers at 2.5 back in the NL West. There's a hard shot there to third again. Ryan McMahon able to field. He's had a busy day over there at the hot corner. And now 1 up, 1 down quickly here in the third. As that brings up Miguel Vargas, 3 home runs, 18 RBIs, OPS at .872, a very good season for him so far. I think he did homer in Game 1, where the Dodgers won 8-4. A Danny Jansen grand slam in the first was the only means of production at the plate for the Rockies, as they would go on to suffer an 8-0 run. And now here on 1-1, slurve there, chopped foul. And now on 1-2, you know I'm going back to the changeup. There's that one in the dirt, so here I think we'll raise it. Go fastball. That one goes right down the plate, fouled off by Vargas. And we'll do it again here. Go to the slurve this time. And that one swung on and missed for strike 3. Just absolute nasty work so far for Dustin May. That's his 5th strikeout. As we have 2 away now in the bottom of the 3rd. Jose Ramos up to bat as that sinker down and in, misses. And now here on 1-0, we'll just go to the fastball. As that's called strike 1 at 100 miles per hour. Go back to it here on 1-1. That one just misses. So on 2-1, let's go to the sinker. As that one just misses as well. So a 3-1 count now to Ramos. At risk of our first base runner. Fastball right down the plate will be smacked into the gap there. As I think that's Benny Montgomery out there in center, able to cut it off. So the first base runner, the first hit allowed here by Dustin May, comes to the number 9 hitter as the lineup turns over now. Mookie Betts up as he started the day with a ground out. Sinker right down the plate, going to be shot up the middle for a base hit as Ramos will stick there at second. So 2 on, back-to-back hits for the Dodgers. 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd as they trail by 1. Trying to get that one back. We'll go to the cutter for the first time. As that just misses, getting squeezed a little bit, but at least the umpire has been consistent. As the fastball does get in there for strike 1, so a 1-1 count now to Riley Green. Go back to it as that one misses outside. Now it's trying to work in that changeup again as that one swung on for strike 2. And we'll just try to do it again here. That one in the dirt, but swung on for strike 3, so make it 6 strikeouts now for Dustin May as we get out of the 3rd. 1 run scored so far for the Dodgers off that Ezequiel Tovar RBI double as we lead a 1/3 of the way through this one. Shohei Ohtani on to lead off the 4th. Still 1-0 Rockies as that sinker misses. As he's finally having some words with the umpire. He is definitely getting squeezed a little bit as that one fouled off a fastball high in the zone. And now let's go to the changeup here on 1-1. That one fouled off by Ohtani. Now the 1-2 will go slurve, I think. And I think we struck him out last time, if I recall correctly. That one a little bit too inside. And now I'll try to work it off the plate with the changeup. And that one far off the plate, not where we're trying to get it. And now here the payoff pitch, just go back to the gas. As that's fouled off. Ohtani doing a good job of battling in each of his first 2 at-bats so far. Go back to the fastball as the payoff pitch, and that's going to be sent out to center field as Benny Montgomery settles underneath and makes the play for out number 1. And now here's Pete Alonso, 1 for 5 in the series so far. Struck out back in the 2nd to lead it off. Fastball fouled off, now the 0-1. Let's go to the slurve. That one bounces in the dirt. Go with the 1-1 changeup. And again, that one down in the dirt. Go to the sinker this time on 2-1. As that one is to our benefit, a borderline call, but we get that one. Now 2-2, let's go to the changeup again. As that one fouled off by Alonso. Now on 2-2, let's bring out the slurve. And that one, thought we were going to be able to deceive him with that one, but he stays pat. I didn't want to go sinker, so we'll step off. And let's go with the payoff pitch changeup here on 3-2, as that's not, wow. I don't know how we don't get the call there. That one clearly a strike, but Pete Alonso will take his base as now James Outman up. The tying run on base here. Trying to get a double play ball to get out of this inning as James Outman chops that first pitch foul. And now we'll go sinker. Probably on back-to-back pitches here, even though that one misses. We'll try it again on 1-1. And that one way up in the zone, not where you want the sinker. And now 1-2, let's go with the changeup. There's that one looked at for ball 2. Go back to the fastball down in the zone, try and get the ground ball, which we do. McMahon, as we go 5-4-3 around the horn, double play to get out of the inning. As Dustin May gives a little props there to his third baseman, McMahon. Very busy today so far as he starts that double play, initiates it. We go around the horn, still leading 1-0 here from LA. Bottom of the 5th now, still just a 1-run ball game. As Will Smith will lead it off. Dustin May, the 60th pitch on that one. And so you get strike 1. Facing his former catcher here. As that one way inside for ball 1. And we'll just keep relying on the fastballs here. That one looked at for strike 2. So 1-2 count here. I wonder if, Smith has the intel. He caught May for a long time here, so I don't know if he's on the tendencies as it doesn't matter that time. The changeup swung on and missed for strike 3, as Dustin May continues to mow through his former lineup. That one, the 7th strikeout already. And here's Ramon Urias, 0 for 1 so far, 3 for 5 in the series, homered in Game 1. The reigning World Series MVP. He went hitless in the NLDS against us, where the Dodgers eliminated us there in Game 5, but he goes on to be World Series MVP, I think 0 for 11 or something like that in the NLDS, as he swings and misses there for strike 1, but then goes on to be the World Series MVP. I think the Dodgers defeated the Tampa Bay Rays in our Year 3 World Series, as the Dodgers look to go back-to-back. Now the 2-2, as that swung on and missed for strike 3. That slurve has been very crisp so far in this game. 8 strikeouts now for Dustin May. We got to check the career high. He's on pace to maybe break that against his former team. I would assume maybe 12 or so, as we do get the call that time. The sinker a little out of the zone, but we'll take it. The 0-1 will go back to it. Swung on and missed for strike 2. And let's break out that slurve again, see if we can get that tight movement on it. As that swung on and missed for strike 3, Vargas goes chasing, and then he'll go back to the dugout, and that's going to be 1-0 still through 5 here, as Dustin May, maybe his best performance so far on the season. Still only 1 run of support here for Dustin May as we now move into the bottom of the 6th. Here's Jose Ramos. Got the hitting going for LA. Back in the 3rd. That sinker misses low. And now here on 1-0. And that one going to be fouled off. Now 1-1 will go change up. There's that one well up in the zone. Not where you want to put that, but we'll take it for strike 2. Let's bring out that slurve again on 1-2. As that's not where we want it either, but still good placement. And Dustin May again, having words with the umpire. It's almost comical at this point. Let's just go right at him here. Attack 2-2. Right down the plate. That's going to be fouled off. The pitch count, getting up there for May now at 76 pitches. As that one misses as well. So Jose Ramos works another full count. Let's go change up, as that's going to be grounded into the outfield there, into right field for a leadoff single now for Jose Ramos, as the lineup turns over. So 1 man on, no outs for the Dodgers, and this might be a chance for them to get something going. Mookie Betts also singled back in the 3rd, and we probably should have had a strikeout on that at bat, honestly, but the umpire not really giving us anything. As you see the side by side there, Dustin May, Mookie Betts, former longtime teammates. And now here on 0-1. Go the slurve, and Mookie Betts is going to send that all the way to left field. A little foreshadowing there with the split screen, and then Mookie Betts getting the best of Dustin May. And, just one little call. We have that strikeout. That should have been a strikeout on that prior batter, but they go walk instead. And then Mookie Betts, that's going to be a 2-1 lead now instead of, just a solo shot, as the Dodgers strike 2-1 now in the bottom of the 6th. And I knew that lack of run support we were getting was going to come back to bite us at some point, especially now as you go down this lineup for the 3rd time. Dustin May was phenomenal, and he still has been, but Mookie Betts just, still one of the better players in the MLB, even now working into year 4 of this franchise. That one 422 feet, and the Dodgers take the lead off that swing of the bat. And now here's Riley Green, as we'll see how short of a leash Kevin Cash gives us at this point. The 1-0 count now. We'll go fastball, that one low. In the zone, we get the call. Now we'll try to work in the cutter, as that is looked at for strike 2. So a 1-2 count now. Let's go change up, as that's way up in the zone. Grounded to 2nd, though. Rogers throws to 1st, as we do get the 1st out now here in the bottom of the 6th. Now Shohei Ohtani steps into the batter's box. 0 for 2 on the day. We've been able to contain him, as he's going to send that to deep left center. And just like that, as I say, we were able to contain him. He puts that one out of the park. So 2 home runs now given up in the 6th for Dustin May, as the Dodgers extend their lead here. 20th of the season for Ohtani. And I believe he was on the bump to start this game, so also in the lineup, as he's been pitching a very good one. And then he goes yard to extend the lead. Talk about helping your own cause, as now it's going to take a comeback effort here in the final 3 innings for the Rockies to get this lead back, as we'll take another look. Ohtani goes oppo there and admires that one. And that's 2 long balls now. I believe we're going to get pulled after this one. We will see, as they do elect to keep us in for whatever reason. And now here's Pete Alonso. Low sinker, swung on and missed. And that's something I have to fix in the new game, is the player lock. They give you such a big leash in player lock games. Like, I don't know why we're not pulled at this point. Now the 0-2. as that's going to be fouled off. Staying alive here is Pete Alonso. But if there's someone you don't want to beat you in this game, it's Pete Alonso. Of course, the former Rocky elected to sign with the Dodgers instead of staying with the Rockies. Not that I don't understand it. I think they gave him a little bit more money. But now 1-2 here. Let's go change up. As that'll be grounded to third again. There's McMahon. Throw to first. And now 2 away here in the 6th. Now here's James Outman. 2 ground outs so far. And I can't imagine they bring us out for the 7th inning. Already at 92 pitches. That fastball swung on and missed for strike 1. And now we'll try it again with the count evened up. Looked at. Now strike 2. Now let's bring out that slurve one more time here. 1-2 count to Outman. As that's going to force him off the plate. And then we'll try to put him away with the changeup, as that's going to be hot shot foul. Still 2-2. That one looked at for ball 3. Now a full count. Will Smith on deck. 2 strikeouts. And the payoff pitch here. Looked at for strike 3. So Dustin May finally gets out of this 6th inning. Came into it with a 1-0 lead, but it's going to leave with a 3-1 deficit. Now in line for the loss, unless our Rockies can spark something on offense. And they're going to bring out Kyle Freeland. 3-1 on the season, 40 2/3 with an ERA sub-2. Hitters aren't really hitting much against him, a good strikeout rate. So his transition to the bullpen has been very successful, I'd say. We've worked him into a more of a long relief spot at times, as we'll return to simulating. And Will Smith went yard in that first at-bat, as the Dodgers take this one 4-1. So they take game 1, game 2, and now they extend their lead in the division to 3.5 games, as Dustin May does catch the loss here against his former team. Now 6-3 on the season, but I want to say 10 strikeouts, maybe even more. As Shohei Ohtani now 6-6. Dustin May, as we said, 6-3. AJ Minter, his 16th save of the season. Has only 3 hits for the Rockies. Tovar 1 for 3 with a double, an RBI double, that is. Yanquiel Fernandez 1 for 3. Ohtani went 8 innings, 5 strikeouts. Only 4 base runners allowed. Also a home run in this game. So clearly the player of the game when you get the win and you hit a home run. As we're now here into June, we're going to simulate through the rest of June in this episode. So that might be the only action of gameplay we actually get, as we'll sim game 3 there. And we do get swept by the Dodgers, which you never want to see. But Benny Montgomery continues to hit very well. 2 hits in this one with a double. 2 hits for McMahon and Mountcastle. Danny Jansen, another home run for him. Aaron Savali, 4 innings, 4 earned runs, 9 hits allowed as he catches the loss. Taj Bradley, 3 innings, just 1 earned. Lucas Gilbreth, an inning. As we'll keep moving along here, want to get a faster pace going, as we do get a trade here. Lane Thomas traded to Milwaukee from the Cubs. As Chicago gets Dean Kramer, starting pitcher, and Victor Scott, a very fast center fielder with a good glove. As they go in division there, Lane Thomas has had a very good season with the Cubs so far, as we saw in the last episode. And you see their .310 batting average, 14 home runs, 8 steals for the outfielder. As we now start a 3-game set against the Angels, Patrick Sandoval on the bump against his former team. We have runners on the corners here, scoreless in the top of the 10th with 2 away. Emmett Sheehan on the bump, Ryan Mountcastle on with runners on the corners, as we do fall 1-0. We can't convert there in that spot, as we fell in the bottom of the 10th. So our Rockies now on a 5-game skid, which I did not see coming, especially after very good success back in May in the last episode. But here we'll try to get a win, break that losing streak. We'll have Jack Flaherty on against Griffin Canning. As Grant Levine there injured for 1 to 2 months in AAA. That's kind of a big loss. He's been huge in that lineup this season, as he lands on the 60-day IL. Ken Hughes a flexor strain, so just day-to-day. As we do get a win there, finally we win 6-4. Eloy Jimenez 4 for 5. A few others had a hit, but no home runs for us. Jack Flaherty 7 innings, just 2 earned, 7 strikeouts. Lucas Gilbreth was not good. Ken Hughes only 1 batter faced, allowed a hit in a save situation, I believe, as he did have to leave the game to that flexor strain. John Curtis a hold, and Brusdar Graterol gets the save as our Rockies get back in the win column. Now we'll go on and simulate game 3 here. Hopefully we can take the rubber match. We have Max Fried on against Jared Jones, battle of the Southpaws. Fried needs a good start this time, as we do take that one 9-3. So we take a series there against the Angels. Benny Montgomery now in the leadoff spot, goes 2 for 5 with a home run. He's really been hitting the ball well in his last few games. Ezekiel Tovar a triple. And we also had home runs from Ryan Mountcastle, Danny Jansen with another one. Brendan Rodgers now in the 9 spot in the lineup, as he bounces back, goes 3 for 5 with a home run. 3 hits for Mountcastle as well. A few players here with multi-hit games. Max Fried 7 2/3, 3 earned as he gets his 7th win of the season. Phil Maton a scoreless inning and a third. As we now start a set here against the Athletics, keeping this AL West battle going as we get that one 6-0. Ken Hughes now fully healthy, as Benny Montgomery another couple of hits there at the top of the lineup. Brendan Rodgers 2 for 4 with another home run. So he had 1 home run entering last game, and he now has 2 in back-to-back games. as hopefully that's a sign of things to come. Tovar, another couple hits. Ronald Cabrera in the 9th spot, filling in for Danny Jansen at catcher, as Dustin May a very good start, no earned in 7 innings. And Bruce Gratterall, 2 innings of scoreless work there to close it out at the end. As we shut out the Athletics, we'll get Ken Hughes back in our closer spot, which he is, so good to see the game do that. Now Aaron Savali on against Ramon Barton. Now we'll go take a look at Barton real quick. We had Michael Yamashita here, who's up to a 74 overall B potential. We drafted him 3rd overall back in year 1 of this franchise in that MLB draft. Very good numbers so far in AAA at 6-2, 79 2/3 innings at 2.60 ERA, 1.1 WHIP, about a strikeout per inning, 11 quality starts out of 13 with a 2.4 WAR. So we drafted Yamashita at number 3 overall, and then the Athletics drafted Ramon Barton. If we can get over to them, they drafted him 1 pick later, and we kind of were high on Barton, but Yamashita was just the better prospect, as Barton is a year or 2 older, only 68 stamina though, and he's been around for a while. I think just 1 year after they drafted him, or not even, I think even in that same season they drafted him, they put him in the rotation, started 25 games, went 5-10, 4.85 ERA, was a full-time starter last year, made 29 starts, but 5-17 as now to start his year 3 season, 5-6, so he's already matched his win total in each of the past 2 seasons. Looks like he's putting together a better performance now at age 23. And as I said, we did slightly prefer Yamashita, but Barton a little more MLB ready, already up here with the Athletics, so we'll see how we do against him here. Aaron Savali, 4-7, a really bad season for him so far, as he is regressing. A 2-2 ball game here in the top of the 8th. Kyle Freeland on the mound, and we do take that one 3-2, so Freeland works out of traffic, as Montgomery does go hitless for the first time here in a few games. 2 for 4 there was Gavin Lux and Eloy Jimenez at the top of the lineup, as Lux went yard. Danny Jansen, another home run. He's getting hot. And Aaron Savali, no decision, but a strong outing. 7 innings, 2 earned, as Kyle Freeland gets the win. Now 4-2 on the season. Ken Hughes, his 15th save, as our Rockies now on a 4-game winning streak following that 5-game losing skid. As we'll go for the sweep here, we have Patrick Sandoval on against Ethan Small. And that's a torn labrum for Robert Marmolejo, an A potential outfielder we have down there in Double-A, as he's going to miss the rest of the season. So a few injuries to our minor leaguers as we fall there in that Game 3 against Athletics, 5-2. Gavin Lux, another 3 hits, 2 hits from Jansen, Mountcastle, Rogers, as the latter 2 there went yard, Mountcastle and Rogers. So Rogers has 3 home runs now in his last 4 or 5 games. He's getting hot. Sandoval now 5-5. Taj Bradley a strong 3 1/3 out of the bullpen, just gave up 1 earned with 4 strikeouts. And then Lucas Gilbreth a scoreless inning, as well as will now open up a series against Seattle. As they're 28-40, so quite the fall off for them. As we'll have Jack Flaherty on against Luis Castillo. And I think Flaherty, all things considered, has probably been our most consistent pitcher so far in year 4, as we do fall there 5-2. So back-to-back games we fall by the score of 5-2. Montgomery another hit at the top of the lineup. Eloy Jimenez 2 for 4. As Nolan Jones and Ryan McMahon go yard. Jack Flaherty 5 innings, 2 earned, gets the loss. Now 3-5 on the season. Freeland 3 earned in just an inning of work. And then Gilbreth and Gratterall 3 innings combined. 6 strikeouts between the 2 with no earned runs. So now we'll move on to Game 2. We'll have Max Fried on against Brian Wu. And we're trailing 2-1 here, tying run on second. Eloy Jimenez up here in the bottom of the 8th, and we fall 2-1. We can't work a comeback in that spot. Montgomery another hit at the top of the lineup. Only 3 hits as a team. 1 was a home run for Nolan Jones. Max Fried 6 innings, 2 earned. Not the worst start, only 1 strikeout though, but he gets the loss. Taj Bradley 3 innings, gets 6 strikeouts, as we've now fallen in 3 straight games. So very hot and cold so far in the month of June. We're now 5 games back of the Dodgers, as we're about halfway through the month. Only 27 days to the MLB Draft, and we will get a MLB Draft update here towards the end of the episode, kind of go over our strategy, look at some top prospects as we try to avoid the sweep here at home. And we do fall 8-7, so now 4 straight losses, as we did get 2 there in the bottom of the 9th, but not enough to spark the rally. 2 hits for Ryan Mountcastle, home runs from him and Benny Montgomery, as Dustin May catches the loss. Now 7-4, 4 earned in 4 innings. Kyle Freeland 4 innings of his own, gave up 2, and Ken Hughes 1 scoreless inning there at the end. So very, very hot and cold so far in this episode. Our lineup has really struggled to get any sort of consistency going. Nolan Jones very cold, Tovar cold, Yanquiel Fernandez is cold. I think we'll put Gavin Lux back in the lineup, as we've been rotating a few guys in and out, especially with the injury to Luis Robert Jr. has really hampered our efforts in the lineup. We're really down, a true leadoff man. So I think we'll look at the trade block real quick, see who's available. Fernando Tatis Jr. at the top of the list, and that would take a king's ransom. Really don't think the Padres would want to deal him in division either, with still 7-8 years left on that huge contract he signed. Jake Berger, Christopher Morel, Brendan Donovan, some infielders here, Michael Garcia. But none of these guys, really give us a leadoff hitter capability. So I think we might have to look elsewhere, as we're kind of at a dead end for that. But we'll just keep it going here. We'll keep Benny Montgomery in that spot for now, as Aaron Civale on against his former team here, the Milwaukee Brewers. Game 1 of a 3-game set as we fall 4-3. So that's 3 straight losses by 1 run. We're just not being able to pull out these wins. Eloy Jimenez 3 for 5, 10 hits as a team. Jimenez had a home run. Civale 4 earned in 5 innings. Taj Bradley 3 scoreless innings. So we just haven't gotten the pitching when we needed it. We haven't gotten the run support when we needed it. As now game 2, Patrick Sandoval on against Brad Keller. As runners on second and third, we finally get going in this one, 12-8 in the top of the 9th. We had a 5-run 7th inning, got 1 in the 8th. Now 3 here in the top of the 9th. Eloy Jimenez on a triple short of the cycle. He's 3 for 3 with a home run, 4 RBIs. As we do get 1 more run, we win 13-9, snapping a big losing streak there. 3 hits for Jimenez, Jansen, and Mountcastle. As 2 of the 3 there, home runs. Mountcastle with 2 doubles, no home run for him. As Patrick Sandoval, 5 1/3, 5 earned, so not the best start from him. As Kyle Freeland, another win for him, now 5-2 on the season. And I think he's only 5 wins away from reaching 100 on his career, all of which have been with the Rockies. John Curtis gets a hold, albeit in a bad performance, 2 earned in less than an inning. Lucas Gilbreth also a hold, as he worked an inning, 1 earned, and Ken Hughes gets the save, as he's gone on a nice little run here, converting consecutive save opportunities here as of late. Now game 3 against Milwaukee, the rubber match will have Jack Flaherty on against Ranger Suarez, as we have Brendan Rodgers up. 2 home runs for him already, so he's gone on a huge home run tear as of late. He entered, early June with just 1, and now I think he's already up to like 6 by now, as we're up 13-6 in this game. We won by a score of 14-6, so we got 1 more, as we've posted 27 runs in the past 2 games, 20 hits in this one, as the top 5 in the lineup went a combined 12 for 18 with 10 runs batted in there between Montgomery, Gavin Lux, Jimenez, Danny Jansen, Mountcastle. Brendan Rodgers also 3 hits of his own. Nick Senzel 3 hits, as Gavin Lux went yard twice, as did Brendan Rodgers. So Rodgers just, tearing it up. Jimenez, Jansen, Senzel also with home runs, as Jack Flaherty gets the win. Now 4-5 on the season. Taj Bradley a hold, but a poor performance, 3 earned in just 1 out recorded. But Gregory Soto, 2 2/3, had 4 strikeouts. His ERA at .57, as we win another series here. And we're now up to 41-34, starting a 3-game set here against the Cincinnati Reds. We'll have Max Fried on against Hunter Green. And we're up 5-2. And look at Ronald Cabrera, our backup catcher, sporting a 14-game hitting streak here in the top of the 9th. We'll see if he can keep it going, as we do take that one 5-2. But that 15-game hitting streak snapped from Ronald Cabrera. I did not expect to see that. And look at Brendan Rodgers, another home run for him with 3 hits. 3 hits for Gavin Lux as well, 2 for Ryan McMahon, as Jimenez added a home run of his own. Max Fried now 8-5, a very strong start. 7 innings, 2 earned runs, and then John Curtis gets the hold. Ken Hughes another save, now up to 17, as we're now here game 2 against Cincinnati. And we get Ken Ramirez, our top catching prospect, now off the IL, missed a couple months, and we'll now reinsert him into the lineup. And with that all settled, now game 2 against the Reds. We took game 1 5-2. We'll now have Dustin May on against Andrew Abbott, as May takes another shutout bid here into the bottom of the 9th, up 4-0. We'll see if he can complete it, as he does not. We do get the win though, but 2 runs surrendered there in the bottom half of the 9th, as Nick Senzel led it off in this game against his former team in his former ballpark. Goes 0 for 5. Ryan Mountcastle a home run with 2 hits. 2 hits also for Tovar and Danny Jansen, as Dustin May 8 2/3 just could not finish that shutout. Already does have 1 on the season. Ken Hughes a 1-out save, as that's about as easy as it gets. And we're now rolling on to 4 straight wins following some inconsistent play, but now here into the final week and a half of June. Hopefully we can put together a strong performance and work our way back in the division, now down 3 games to the Dodgers, as the Giants, Padres, Diamondbacks slip in here in the division. So it looks like it will just be a 2-headed race at the top between the World Series favorite Los Angeles Dodgers and our Colorado Rockies, now ranked 5th in team rankings, 3rd in contact, 8th in power, 5th in pitching, 11th and 12th in defense and speed respectively. So almost top 10 in every category, as we've done a tremendous job building a complete ball club here. Now going over to the NL Central, the Cardinals up 3 games on the Brewers, as the Reds and Pirates also in play. All of these teams under 500 besides the Cardinals, and the Cubs, slip in there at the bottom, now 10 games under 500. In the East, the Braves at 49-27, I think the best record right now in all of baseball, as the Phillies still a very good record, but already 7 games down in the division, so it looks like they're going to have to settle for a wild card spot this season. The Mets also contending now, 9 games out, but 4 games over 500, maybe the best season they've had so far in this franchise. They've really struggled over in the American League in the West. The Rangers and Astros tied. The Angels not too far behind. The Athletics, trying to claw their way up from the doormat. They've been last place every single season so far, but currently ahead of the Mariners in the Central. The Twins up 1 game on the Royals. And this is going to be a fun matchup to monitor over the course of this season. The Twins and Royals, 2 very good ball clubs. And then everyone else, way under 500. The Guardians, 14 games under 500. The White Sox at 28-51. And the Tigers even worse at 21-58, as they've slipped under the White Sox there at the bottom of the Central. Out in the American League East, we have the Rays 3 games up on the Yankees. The Orioles also in contention, but the Blue Jays, Red Sox both over 10 games behind, as we'll now look to simulate the rest of this month here fairly quickly. And then next week on this Sunday, when we have our scouting, we'll take one last look at the draft class before the draft in next episode. But before that, we're going to try and complete the sweep here of the Cincinnati Reds and extend this winning streak to 5 games. Aaron Civale on against Kris Bubic as we get shut out there 4-0. Only 1 hit allowed all game. That came off the bat of Brendan Rodgers, as Civale falls to 4-9 on the season. That ERA stands exactly at 4.99, which is where I believe it was at entering this start. Kyle Freeland 3 innings out of the bullpen, and Kris Bubic, I believe that's how you say it, 9 innings, the complete game shutout, just 1 hit allowed, almost posted no-hitter, as the Reds able to avoid the sweep. And now we're at home for a 7-game homestand. We open a 4-game set here against the Brewers after we just outscored them 27-15 in those last 2 matchups last week. Game 1 here, Ken Hughes on for the save, but the tying run is in scoring position as Ken Hughes able to work out of that. We win 3-2. Lane Thomas 2 for 4 at the top of Milwaukee's lineup as they just traded for him. Benny Montgomery goes 1 for 4 at the top. Eloy Jimenez 2 for 4 as he gets a 3-run home run. Danny Jansen another hit. Only 4 hits as a team in this one. Patrick Sandoval does get the win. 6 innings, 2 earned. Gratterall, Curtis, and Ken Hughes 3 scoreless innings combined as Ken Hughes converts another save. Now 19 on the season. Now game 2 will have Jack Flaherty on against Ranger Suarez, and we fall here 10-4 as the top 4 hitters in the lineup all went 2 for 4. Ryan Mountcastle went 2 for 3 as Jansen had a double and a triple. No home runs. Jack Flaherty 5 innings, gets the loss. Now 4-6 on the season. And the bullpen did not do too well either. 2 earned from Kyle Freeland, 2 earned from Gilbreth. Philip Maton 2/3. Brusdar Gratterall an inning. And now game 3 we'll have Max Fried on against Aaron Ashby. And we take this one 3-1. Ryan Mountcastle went yard. He had 2 hits along with Jones and Rogers. Each of them had 2 hits. Max Fried now 9-5, just 1 earned in 7 innings. Curtis and Ken Hughes again the hold save combo. And now we'll try to take the series here in game 4. Dustin May on against Framber Valdez. And we're down 4-2 here in the bottom of the 8th. 2 men on for Danny Jansen, and we do fall there at the same score of 4-2. 3 hits for Ryan Mountcastle. He hit another home run. Dustin May gets the loss 8-5 as he had 3 earned in 5 innings. Kyle Freeland 4 innings out of the bullpen as we'll open a set here against the Giants. Aaron Civale, he gets another win here, so 2 good bounce back starts from him as we take this one 8-1 at home against a division rival. Nolan Jones 2 for 5 as the leadoff man. Home runs from Eloy Jimenez and Brendan Rodgers. Jansen and Nick Senzel each with 2 hits. Civale 6 strong innings as Taj Bradley a 3-inning save. And now game 2, Patrick Sandoval on against Lucas Giolito as Sandoval sporting a perfect game, no-hitter here at the top of the 7th. And we'll simulate it. We do win 2-1, but looks like he did allow a run. We get a trade offer here from the Royals, Zach Neto. I believe he was on the trade block. And a potential shortstop with good fielding, a good arm to bat. Nothing special yet, but pretty good traits to work off of with that 68 vision and between all those contact and power categories, mid-50s to mid-60s. Again, with a very good glove. Came over from the Angels, spent his first 3 seasons with them, or 3.5, I guess, before being traded to the Royals. And now kind of an everyday player for them, not batting too well. 221, $2.6 million contract with 2 years left of arbitration. And they want Aaron Civale, who I am considering shopping at the trade deadline, or as we approach the trade deadline. We do have a club option on him at $9.4 million, and he has put together some decent starts here in 2 of his last 3 or 3 of his last 4 starts, something like that. So I think he is starting to get some value back. He was an all-star last year, but just did not finish the season strong and really didn't start this season that well either. But we have some flexibility with Michael Yamashita and Juan Ayala as some top prospects. We could always move Kyle Freeland back into the rotation. He's been a long relief guy most of the year, so we have some flexibility there. I think we need to upgrade our lineup a little bit, bring in someone who can provide some leadoff ability, which Zach Neto, not really that type of guy, more of a glove out there as our utility man. So a good offer there from the Royals, but just doesn't really meet what we need right now. So back-to-back wins now. We go for the sweep, as we'll have Jack Flaherty on against Keaton Winn. And I did say we were going to take a look at our draft board here on this Sunday, but we'll just simulate another week here into the early part of July here on July 4th, and we'll take a look at it here to end the episode. So we'll get through another week and get through here pretty quickly. So Flaherty on against Winn, going for the sweep, and we fall there 9-5. So we do get the series win at least, as Nolan Jones and Gavin Lux there at the top of the lineup. They combine for a 6-for-8 effort. Each go 3-for-4. 3 RBIs from Gavin Lux. He has a double, a single, and a triple. Just a home run short of the cycle. 2 hits from Ryan McMahon, as Danny Jansen did go yard. Jack Flaherty did not make it through 5, so he's been very bad after a great start to the season, falling out to 4-7. 6 earned runs. Kyle Freeland, 3 earned runs from him. 2 scoreless innings from Gratterall. As we're now 47-38, just 2 more games left here in the month of June. We start a 3-game set now against the Mets on the road. And we'll see if Max Fried can keep his strong pitching going, as he does. Gets the win here. We win 7-2 in the opening game from Queens. Benny Montgomery 2-for-5 with a double. 2 RBIs. Eloy Jimenez was 3-for-5. 2 hits for Danny Jansen. As Mountcastle adds another triple. I think 5 triples now from Mountcastle. Gavin Lux a triple of his own now, back-to-back games for him, as he added another 3 RBIs. No earned for Max Fried. 7 strong innings with 6 strikeouts. Gratterall, another scoreless inning out of the bullpen. His ERA just barely over 2. And Lucas Gilbreth, another bad outing. 2 earned in an inning, as his ERA ballooning now up to over 7. And he's not really putting together a good stretch here, so we might have to look to replacing his spot in the bullpen maybe. He was very reliable over the first 3 years of this franchise, and it just really got better and better each season. But now 20 innings into his age 31 season is set for the free agent market. His ERA at 7.2, whip at just under 2. But he is still seeing decent progression, +3 their Ks per 9 and home runs per 9. And pretty good ratings across the board. Just really not that walks per 9 at 52. But we'll still give him a little bit of an effort here. Kyle Freeland kind of getting worked a little bit more than I would like. So we'll move him back here into a middle relief role. Put Gilbreth under Curtis there as our setup guys. Hopefully that limits Gilbreth's workload a little bit from here on out, just for the foreseeable future at least. Now the last game here in the month of June, Dustin May on against Kyle Wright. As it's a 4-1 Rockies lead. Eloy Jimenez already with 2 home runs here in the top of the 8th. And we did add another run, so maybe it was another solo shot there for Jimenez, as it was not, but he does finish 2-for-4, 3 RBIs on 2 home runs, 2 hits for Mountcastle. Dustin May gets his 9th win of the year, 7 strong innings. Gregory Soto, 1 1/3, as his ERA now down to .52, and Ken Hughes another save, as he's now converted, I think, over 10 in a row after a rocky start to the season. As we're now here into July, we'll get a look at some minor league updates. Shortstop Freddie Zamora batting .059. He was a late call-up after some injuries. Joel Peguero, relief pitcher there in Double-A, a 4.38 ERA and 12 1/3. Not the worst. Jim Jarvis, though, batted .359. Utility left-handed bat down there in Double-A. And then we get Warming Bernabel batted .342. So he must have went on a dynamic run there towards the end of the month, because he was kind of struggling in the early parts of June. Now Garrett Haney, our closer, down there in Double-A Hartford, a 1.08 ERA, 11 strikeouts in 8 1/3. And then finally Ricky Raymond, our lefty there in Triple-A, 3.38 ERA, 11 strikeouts over 8 innings. As we'll keep it moving along here so we can preview this 2027 MLB Draft and get out of this episode. We go for the sweep. Aaron Savalion looking for another good start against David Peterson, who is 4-1 for the Mets. As we fall there 4-1. Luis Robert Jr. now off the injured list. So I think we're going to have to send down Lucas Gilbreth. We'll go over to the MLB roster. We'll go down to the bottom just to see who it comes down to. Michael Toglia, haven't used him all that much, but we love the pop he provides at times. It seems like every time we insert him into the lineup, he's making big things happen. Already 4 home runs and 52 at-bats, slugging .538. A switch hitter lefty in the field out of Arizona, 28 years old, had 3 home runs and 5 at-bats in last year's NLDS, so we just kind of keep him on the roster. He provides that pop, that energy when we need it. So I think it really comes down to a relief pitcher, and I think that guy's going to be Lucas Gilbreth. Still not bad by any means, 75 overall, maybe someone we could shop here at the looming trade deadline, but Soto's just been the better reliever. As far as lefties go, we also have, Kyle Freeland making a big impact out of the bullpen as well, so we'll see what happens with Aaron Savali. Maybe if we trade him, that'll open up another spot in our pitching staff. But for now, I think Gilbreth has to be sent down just because Benny Montgomery has been called up. He's had a huge impact, and I think we need to keep him on this team. Great speed off the bench, decent glove, and he's hitting, above expectations. 130 at-bats, 3 home runs, 17 RBIs, batting .262, 400 even slugging with that OPS over 700 for the 24-year-old rookie outfielder. And so I think Gilbreth will be sent down, and maybe he gets called up later. Maybe we trade him. We'll see what happens. But I think that just goes to show, the depth we've built on this team. And now we'll start a 3-game set against the Kansas City Royals, who are at 53-34, one of the better records in all of baseball, as they're currently second in the AL behind the Minnesota Twins. So the Royals have assembled a very good pitching rotation. We'll see Brady Singer, Asa Lacy, and Daniel Lynch, but also Corbin Burns and Zach Gallen in this rotation. So we're getting the 3-4-5, it seems. As we'll sim game 1 here, we take it 10-6. Another trade offer for Gratterall this time, but we're not even going to entertain that. He's been our most reliable middle relief guy. We keep Montgomery in the lineup for the time being, even though Luis Robert Jr. is back, as Montgomery goes 1 for 4, Gavin Lux 2 for 6, as we scored 6 runs at the top of the 10th. So this went to extras, and then we pleaded 6 there in the top of the 10th. Robert Jr. got the start in right field, went 2 for 5. Danny Jansen 2 for 3 with 2 walks. Ryan McMahon 3 for 5, 2 hits for Brendan Rodgers, as he had a double and a home run. Benny Montgomery with a triple. Luis Robert Jr. homers in his first game back, as Jimenez and Jansen also go deep. Sandoval 7 innings, 3 earned runs. John Curtis gets his first win, even though he gave up 2 earned in 2 innings. Brusdar Gratterall a scoreless inning, as that ERA now at 2 even. So game 2 now we'll have Jack Flaherty on against Lacy, and we have a situation here, top of the 9th, tying run on first. Allsaway on for the save as Ryan Mountcastle up to the plate, and we fall there 6-5, so he does get the job done in that spot. Nolan Jones 3 for 5 from the leadoff spot. Senzel 2 for 4, 3 hits from Ryan McMahon, 2 for Mountcastle, as he went yard along with Nolan Jones. Flaherty, another poor outing, only 4 innings, 6 earned, allowed 11 hits, and Taj Bradley finished it off with 4 scoreless innings. So we split the first 2 games here from Kansas City. And we'll now end the episode by looking at the 2027 MLB Draft, as we do have, I think, 8 picks in total. We'll take a look here, and you see there at the top left, we have the 24th pick in the first round, and then 5 in the top 100, or 5 in the top 98, if you want to get technical, but 8 picks overall, so we have a ton of flexibility. I believe we did get an extra pick there, losing out on Pete Alonso in free agency, but the top prospect in this year's draft, Ken Oaks, left fielder, 18 years old, out of Illinois, looks to be a 5-tool player for the most part. We'll see how that comes back, but projected number 1 pick probably to the White Sox or the Tigers, I would assume, maybe even the Nationals. The top pitcher in this year's class, Everett Berman, 21 years old, but of course we're not going to have a shot at any of these guys up at the top. Maybe Russell O. He's someone we're considering with our first round pick there at 24, the top closer, or top reliever really in this year's class, 21 years old, out of South Korea, going to be between an 83-93 potential, so probably going to be there in the high 80s. Overall, at minimum, a 73, so he's pretty much already MLB ready. The only thing on him is that $8.9 million bonus demand, but we'll see if we can talk him down. If we do elect to select him in the first round, we'll take a look at some other guys that we're considering, not really going to focus on some guys here at the top that are out of our reach. So we get Isaiah Mayfield here, center fielder out of California, high school guy who's never going to be much with the bat, but if you look at his fielding, going to be a top-tier fielder with a very strong arm, tremendous speed, going to be a tremendous base stealer when he does get on base, but that will be an issue for him, working on base. 5'7", 176, the potential 78-93, so probably going to be there in the mid to high 80s, you would hope, with that overall low floor, though, at 52, but up to 67, probably going to be high 50s, I would assume, but Isaiah Mayfield, number 9 on our draft board after scouting, 35th on the overall board. So if we do take him at 24, we would be getting pretty good value. And then we have Felipe Soriano, 10th on our board, 26th on the MLB board. Going to be a very good hitter, especially against lefties. The discipline going to be very high up there. The vision going to be all right as well. So Soriano, a very good hitter, but the glove, nothing special there at first base. So maybe more of a DH, which we already kind of have in Alex Parra, who's a third baseman, but his fielding doesn't really bode well, so he might find his way as our designated hitter. So I don't know if Soriano is the best choice, but you love the bat, especially there against lefties. As I said, 6'3", 227 with a pretty high floor, 60 to 75 overall, pretty good. Probably going to come in as like a mid to high 60s, you would think, with that potential as high as 93, probably going to be there somewhere in the 80s. So I think Soriano, Mayfield, the aforementioned Russell O, 3 guys in play with our 24th overall pick. And there was one more guy here, and that's Jose Batista. He's going to be a very strong fielding shortstop here out of Venezuela, 19 years old. Going to be a very high contact guy as well with decent speed there, 71 to 83. So I like the tools he brings to the table. Going to hold it down there at short. Going to hit for high contact, you would assume, especially there against lefties. And he graded out at 16th on our board compared to the 31 MLB ranking. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, Batista, and then the aforementioned Felipe Soriano, who's a very good hitter, but just not much with the glove. Then we have Isaiah Mayfield, who's a speedster on the base pass with a very strong arm, very good glove there in center, but just never going to be much with the bat. And then also Russell O, who's the top closer, top relief pitcher in this year's class, going to come in maybe even from year one of his career and hold it down there in the bullpen. We've had some inconsistencies this year with Ken Hughes, although he has turned it around here as of late, but Russell O would be a tremendous addition there in the back half of the first round, so he's definitely someone we're going to keep an eye on. Now, we'll look towards later picks. We have 59, 68, 74, so we have a cluster there in the second, third round range, whatever you want to call it. Walter Matsui is a guy we're currently scouting, 45% scouted, 12th on our overall board, so he came back very good after scouting. Going to be a high strikeout pitcher with very good ratings overall. Not the best velocity, not the best break, but very good control, and that's kind of how he makes his money. A low floor though, 46 to 72 overall, with high potential at 70 to 96 with a four-seamer, a slider, and a cutter. We're also scouting a first baseman here, Leonard Delgado, who's going to have very high power, especially there against lefties, almost maxed out, but only 54% scouted. Like Soriano, who we saw earlier at first base, not a good fielder, but going to provide a lot of pop with the bat. 28th on our draft board right now, 64th on the overall board. And then we have Charles Marcus, a shortstop, only 25% scouted, lefty bat out of Canada. Decent contact and vision with a strong arm, good speed, good fielder. So a decent left-handed utility man off the bench, still pretty young there at 18, but you like the floor ceiling combo. So all three of these guys targets there in the second, third round range for those mid-round picks we have at 59, 68, 74. We also have 98, so maybe could go for one of those guys in one of those spots as well. And now here just at recommended draft prospects, we'll go down the board. We already saw these three, Mayfield, Soriano, Batista. Andy Sachs, we haven't really scouted him though. Justin Brown, a first baseman out of Japan, lefty bat, lefty glove. Decent bat overall with pretty consistent contact and power ratings, but you really love his glove at first base, a strong arm as well, so he might have some other position flexibility, but I love the balanced skill set of him with that lefty bat, lefty glove. As I said, you always love that lefty skill set at first base. 57th on the overall board, and we have him at 27. So if he's there at 59, we might take a chance on him, even though we only have him 35% scouted. Another first baseman here, Andres Bermudez. He kind of flew under the radar a little bit. Very high ratings across the board, especially for contact, disciplined fielding, but he has lower potential than he does overall. So he's going to be one of those guys who you draft who comes in pretty high overall, but then just kind of regresses as you go along. Even though we do have him ranked at 32 after scouting, I'm not sure he would be a target for us just based on that potential. It's just going to, that potential overall mix. When they have a higher potential, they're going to slip once they come into the league. They're never really going to progress, which is not something you want when drafting a prospect. Emil Guerrero, another first baseman here, very high power versus righties, but someone we didn't really fully invest in scouting just because we had other first basemen we were targeting. Sean Rush, a shortstop here, 44th on our overall board, 32 on the MLB board. So he went down after scouting, probably not in play for us. Halfway scouted. Just going to kind of cruise down the board here. We have Ken Crook, a center fielder, lefty bat, lefty glove. Decent bat overall, for a late round pick, someone more for his speed and glove as he's coming out of JUCO. We have Rich Manuel here, another first baseman. This guy later on, though, ranked 133rd on our board, 148 on the overall board. 19 years old, but very high potential at 77 to 95. The overall, though, very, very low. So he has a very high ceiling, but a very low floor. So a lot of progression going to be needed for Manuel to make the big leagues, but you love that potential, especially in the later rounds. That's probably going to be a fourth, fifth round guy who we could maybe cash in on with that potential. And then just going down the board a little bit quicker here. Really no one of note in the later rounds. Kind of went over the guys we were targeting. We didn't really approach scouting the best this season. There was a starting pitcher, though, I wanted to talk about that we were looking at later on. I wish there was a way you could just, manage your own draft board. They might have that in the new game. And here's Rodrigo Mora, 50% scouted, and he went up from 149 to 78 after scouting, albeit, only halfway. But you love the ratings there. The strikeout's going to be a concern, but more of a pitch-to-contact type guy with a 4-pitch mix, the running fastball, changeup, slider, splitter. And we've done a tremendous job building our pitching through the draft in the first 3-4 years of this franchise, so we didn't really need to pour any resources into that. We're kind of looking for some guys with speed, some good gloves out there, which center fielder Isaiah Mayfield, that shortstop Juan Batista would fit. So that's just a quick run through in this draft class. There's also Emerson List here, who we scouted the top lefty reliever in this year's class. He went down a few spots from 12 to 18, so probably not going to be in on him. Maybe if we miss out on Russell O, we'll look to Emerson List as our backup plan as far as bringing in a relief pitcher. And there was a catcher as well. We have here Rondell McNeil, very high contact guy, right-handed bat out of Netherlands. The fielding's going to be very good, the reaction very good. Not the strongest arm there at the backstop, but you love what he brings with the bat. High contact, good vision, and high discipline as well. Only 55% scouted, but at 99 on our overall board, 108 on the MLB board. Maybe we can get him with that pick 98. I don't know if he'll make it that far, maybe 74, depending on how the rest of the draft goes. But that really does it in this episode. Soriano going to be a candidate there at number 24, along here with Juan Batista. And then I think Isaiah Mayfield really our only other target at that spot, number 9 on our draft board. But this is where I'm going to leave you folks. Thank you so much for watching. Very excited for next episode, the MLB Draft. Always love building this team, as we've done a very good job here to start this Rockies franchise. Of course, kind of going to phase out of this one with the new game now released officially. It took me a while to get this episode out, but either way, we're going to finish up this season at the very least and then look ahead to MLB The Show 25. And we did go ahead and play this game against the Royals on the 4th of July, game of the week, and we took it 6-1. A base hit from everyone in the lineup except Gavin Lux, who came on for the injured Luis Robert Jr., but it was just day-to-day. Nick Senzel, Danny Jansen, each with home runs. Montgomery a triple, Tovar a double, as Max Fried went 6 strong innings, 10 strikeouts, as he's now 11-5. John Curtis a 3-inning save, as he also had 4 strikeouts in that effort. But as always, everybody, it's been real, and be well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.